Yo, it's your boy James Sean Smith. Today I'm back again with some Chelsea news for you lot. It's all going good right now. You love to be a Chelsea fan in the year 2021. Do you know what I mean? It's just gone right for us all year after Frank Lampard's sacking. Even a bit when Frank Lampard was here, but sorry Lamps, you needed to go. Tommy T came over, took over. Now we're the champions of Europe. We're going for the Premier League title. But before we get into anything else, I'm gonna say something now. You better go down there and subscribe. You better go down there and like. You better go down there and do all of that, because if you don't, I will. Do you know what I mean? So, anyway, before I start, I'm gonna say thank you for the support on recent videos. You know, I've seen the subscribers go up. I started on about 20 subscribers and I was 66. You know, the grind don't stop. You keep going. But after all of that, let's get into the first story. Hey, listen. One of our most vital players is injured. Alright? And it's not Romelu. It's not Timo. Mateo Kovacic. Listen, this guy has been the guy for us so far this season. 5 assists in the Prem. Been breaking defences. Doing what he does. But he just looks on form this season. Just running through the midfield. Running it. You know, dribbling past anyone. He's got some great dribbling. You know, everyone wish they can dribble like Mateo. But turns out he's picked up a hamstring injury. And it looks like he might be out for a few weeks. Like, not even just a couple weeks, like a week or 2 weeks. It might be a few weeks. So that's quite upsetting, because he is one of our vital players. I think Kante is now back though, so him and Jorginho will probably be in the midfield. Saul didn't have a bad game against Southampton in the Carabao Cup this week, so he might get slapped in a few times. But that's what we brought him in for. We brought him in for some midfield depth. We still have Ruben, who actually did pick up an injury as well. I don't know when he's back though, but I don't think he'll be out as long as Mateo will. I think Mateo is probably going to be like maybe after the international break he'll be back. So it's a bit sad to see, but happens, do you know what I mean? And you know, it's just been a great player for us this season. As you know, him in that midfield, he's been running it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been our most creative player in my opinion. Him, maybe Mount. You know, Mount's only been back for a few games though, so you can pretty much say the most creative player is Kovacic. I saw some stats saying he's got like the most duels won, most passes, most assists, most take-ons, most one-on-ones, most final third passes, Listen, he's been that guy so far, so hopefully he gets better soon, and we'll be looking forward to his return. Next story is Antonio Rudiger, one of the best centre-back at Chelsea right now. There's no denying it. Him, then Thiago Silva, the best centre-back at Chelsea right now. His contract is still sticky. I'm hearing that it's just a lot going on behind the scenes, and you know, like, Chelsea don't want to give him the wages he wants, and obviously, as I said in previous videos, he's in the form of his life, so I don't blame him for taking the big paycheck now, because you don't know, you might never hit this form again. So like, you might as well get the contract now, carry on playing your football. But Chelsea don't want to offer that up. They're like, that's too much. We already know Chelsea's wage structure is mad. We don't pay our players that much. Like, Mason Mount's on like 80k a week or something like that, something silly. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, we don't usually pay our players a lot. I think he's probably asking for somewhere around 200k a week, which is understandable. He's been one of the best defenders in the Premier League, if not the best, in the last 6 months since Tuchel's come in, and I think he deserves it. Do you know what I mean? But Chelsea, as I said, we don't pay our players a lot like that. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't like to overpay and run ourselves into financial problems, which we probably would never be in, because, you know, the big Roman Abramovich up there won't let that happen. But him and his oil, I'm sorry, what, he works on oil. So what? Some of you man's owners work on Bitcoin. Yeah, allow it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he would never let that happen. But I'm saying, like, you know, we should give him the contract, because I don't want him leaving on a free at the end of the season. Losing Rudiger for free would be the worst thing that we want. And him going to anyone else. Imagine if he goes to a Premier League club, we're breaking past their defence if they have that. Imagine he goes to like Liverpool. Oh dear God, we don't want that. Liverpool, Van Dijk and Rudiger. So I hope we can get this contract situation done. He said, he came out and made a statement. He said he's happy at Chelsea, and the contract talks is for him and for nobody else. To hear him and the club, but obviously we're going to hear about it. But he said he's happy, he wants to stay. So I'm pretty sure he wants to resolve the contract issues. So we'll see how that becomes towards the end of the season. If it turns out he does leave, I will be extremely disappointed. You know what I mean? I'll be mad unhappy, because that's just not what I want. It's just not what you want, Rudiger leaving so early. Nah. But let's hope that gets resolved. And on to the next story, which is Christian Pulisic. Mr. Christian Pulisic, mate. This guy gets injured. Him and Hazard must have intertwining personalities. They played like they're both great dribblers, both great for Chelsea on that left wing, but they both get injured like every 2 games. Do you know what I mean? It's actually ridiculous, bruv. They can't get running games due to their injuries. Pulisic's been out since game 1 of the Premier League. We're now on game week 9 or game week 10 or something like that, and he's been injured. Listen here, lads. Yeah, he's back in training. He's not back for the game today against Newcastle at St James's Park. Shame he's not back for this game, but he should be back for maybe the next game. I'm pretty sure we got one more game next week, the international break. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he could be back for that game, and I'm hoping he is, because I haven't seen Pulisic in a long time, and people might not know this, but he's actually my favourite player at Chelsea. Not because he's the best player or nothing, but in terms of the style of play, he reminds me of Hazard, and Hazard's probably my favourite player ever for Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? After Lamps, not even after Lamps, probably above Lampard, probably above Terry and all that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, probably my favourite player ever to play for Chelsea. So like, if you just remind me of Hazard, you can get a special place in my heart, you know. And post-lockdown Pulisic, as most Chelsea fans knew, we were hoping he could be like that, like all the time. Injuries been striking him. He just hasn't got that same run of form. It's quite upsetting, do you know what I mean? But he's back now in training. Hopefully he doesn't get injured again. I heard this injury that he got was against Honduras or something, or something weird, an international break, and he just hasn't come back from it till now. Listen, he better come back now, and I hope he gets some run of games. I don't know how he's going to fit into the system for Tuchel, but Tuchel always knows what to do, you know what I'm saying? Believe in your manager, and hopefully this guy can get a run of games and do something for the club, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a bit ridiculous, because this guy's got so much potential. I would hate to see his career go nowhere because of the injuries. I don't want him to leave, but as I said, we've got a lot of space in that position. You know, Hudson-Odoi coming through. We've got Ziyech who wants some game time, Werner who wants some game time, and we can't. If you got injuries in this team, you can't afford to be getting injured all the time, because the more and more you get injured, the more and more you fall down the pecking order. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the other players start turning up, like Hazard. I mean, not Hazard, like Hudson-Odoi has been doing recently. So it's just, let's hope, do you know what I mean? Let's hope. But that's it for Christian Pulisic. I'm going to hop into a little match prediction now. We've got Newcastle at St James's Park, the new oil team in the Premier League. Yeah, they got the new Saudi man in there. But listen, they might have the Saudi man, but like, they still need to stay up. Do you know what I mean? They might not be able to they're probably going to bust the bank open in January, so I don't think they'll go down, but they need to get some points on the board. I'm not sure if they've won yet. I think them and Norwich have the only teams that haven't won yet. Maybe Burnley, I don't know. Listen, they've got like 4 draws and 5 losses, mate. We are not going to be the first team to lose to Newcastle. I definitely do not want that. Listen here now. This oil team, yeah, I'm sick of them. Always spending money. Don't look at them at 18th. Do you know what I mean? Nah. But if we do go into this game, it is away at St James's Park. We really know how strong the Newcastle fans are, even though they might not be in the best position league-wise. They are in good spirits because of the sacking of Steve Bruce. Mike Ashley's gone. New owners, big money. They know they're going to bust it open in the January transfer window, so they want to get some points on the board. So spirits are high at Newcastle, and we can't take that for granted here. Yeah, we got to make sure we go in there, we play how we've been playing recently, you know, slapping up 7-0 Norwich, doing all the good stuff, slapping up Tottenham, slapping up Arsenal, slapping up Palace. You know, we only lost to Man City. We conceded the least goals in the Premier League. We are our team on form, you know what I'm saying? We are quite underestimated in the title race. People are saying Liverpool and City, but we like it that way. Don't expect too much from us, because we can just sneak in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, we won the Champions League last season. Everyone said PSG were going to win it, Man City were going to win it, Bayern were going to win it, all the other teams were going to win. No one said Chelsea, but guess who came out on top? Us. So I like being underestimated. Hopefully, just hopefully, we can sneak in there, get ourselves a win. Do you know what I'm saying? Against Newcastle, you know, it's not going to be too hard. But in terms of the score now, I don't know what the score will be. Personally, I think it will be kind of a tight game. It could be, definitely could be. I'm thinking maybe actually not tight. No, what am I talking about tight? I think we'll definitely beat them. I think I'm going to go 3-0. Depending on the lineup, I'm not sure who the lineup will be. I could, you know, do a little whole lineup prediction and all that, but that's just a bit, you know, you never know with Tuchel as well. He could put Marcus Alonso in for all, you know, Chilwell's on form, but this guy, like, when it comes to different teams, I know he dissects it team by team and all of that, so it's just like, you don't really want to guess with Tuchel. But listen, I'm expecting a win here at St James's Park. I'll be doing a match reaction. If the match reaction is late, I apologise. It could be late, it might not. I might do it immediately after. Could be a bit late though. Listen, been a good video. Just informing you of some Chelsea news. But make sure you're tuning into the match later. Make sure you're tuning into the match reaction later. I'll see you in a little bit. Goodbye.